Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and thank you for tuning in 2 times now. You're watching a brand new episode of The Nation Wants to Know. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. Remember, just about 2 days ago, also on the social media, this is a conversation that a lot of you had shared with me where we asked that which is the safest state for women in the country? Remember, if you're a woman, all the more important for you to watch the broadcast. And even if you're not a female, remember, this is an issue that resonates with everyone. You know, whether you have a sister, you have a daughter, you have a friend, you must really be concerned about the state of affairs right now in the country today. Remember, living in metros, we think everything is normal. You know, when you're talking of big cities like Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, Bengaluru, we believe we are all safe. We don't even think of the hinterland. We don't even think about the villages. But forget all that for a moment. Just think about what has happened in West Bengal. If that is a crime not gruesome enough for us to wake up, how will we wake up? And it's not just we who have to wake up. Remember, we have to ensure that the system wakes up. But who really makes that system? It's important now to introduce those characters. That's exactly what we'll do as we begin the show. That's called The Nation Wants to Know. And I want to begin by looking at 3 images right now that will be up on your screens in just a moment. Now, as we ask, which is the safest state for women? We are also, remember, trying to figure out whether, in your experience, you believe that wherever you live, whether that's a metro, whether that is a hinterland, do you believe that those are areas safe for women? And anywhere that you go, you will see crime against women. You will also see a lot of netas talking about this. Let's begin by introducing the netas that we will put our focus on as we begin the show. The first neta is Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee today should really be worried because she, remember, along with all of the other women MPs, when it comes to the Trinamool, has been raining fire on the BJP for every crime against women. But what happens when you see a daughter who's violated, she is killed in her own workplace? She was all of just 31 years old. We want to ask whether Mamata Banerjee can deliver justice. She was stonewalling a CBI probe. Finally, the court had to step in. The court has said, please get the Central Bureau of Investigation into the entire case. So the CBI will be looking at that case. Let's begin now by looking at the other neta who is in focus today. The other neta in focus today, look very closely at him. He might not be very familiar to you. He is the Chief Minister of Haryana, Naib Singh Saini. Now you must be wondering, why have we got him up on the screens? On the other side, look at this gentleman. Does he look very familiar to you? I think he's the most famous rapist in the country, Ram Rahim. He, remember, has been sentenced to 20 years in jail. 20 years, ladies and gentlemen, for some very, very serious charges of rape, of murder, of castration. But what is making news is that the Haryana government this time again has facilitated the release of Ram Rahim for at least 20 days on a furlough. Is this Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao? We'll ask that question. Let's bring up the other character now on our screens. Now, this is a neta who is really buoyant with the kind of victory he's achieved in Uttar Pradesh. Akhilesh Yadav, the Samajwadi Party. If you look at this gentleman who's just standing right next to him, he, remember, right now is a rape accused. He's an SP neta, said to be very close to Akhilesh, said to be very close to Dimple. And he's also been arrested. Why? The same charges of an alleged rape of a minor. So clearly, and the other man that you see on your screens, before we move ahead, again, he's Moid Khan, and he is also related to the Samajwadi Party. The allegations are much the same. Rape. So, Akhilesh Yadav, is he providing cover to these criminals? And can all these netas, remember, tell us, tell you, tell me, tell our friends about women's safety? Are they really serious about women's safety? For a moment, think about this. Let's bring more details now on our screens. Now, these are, remember, graphics that we'll be looking at as far as the story is concerned. Now we know that the Calcutta High Court has handed over the case to the CBI. Because clearly, remember, right from day one, there has been an attempt to ensure that somehow there is a cover-up in the entire case. And that is why you had the CBI who had to get into the entire case. There have been some very scathing observations that have come in from the Calcutta High Court. I'll get in our colleague Sagarika, who will just join us in a moment to decode what the court has said. But do remember, the ex-principal of the RG Kar Medical College has been sent on leave. He is the same individual who was earlier, remember, just put on to look at another medical college, as if nothing happened, as if everything is normal. The case diary will have to be handed over to the Central Bureau of Investigation by 10 in the morning tomorrow. This is exactly what the court has said. So are our netas failing us? Remember, the courts have to intervene. The courts have also said that please ensure that all the CCTV footage that you have, it needs to be handed over to the CBI because we want a thorough, complete investigation into the case. Mamata Banerjee, right from day one, many say has been stonewalling a proper probe. We do not know why. Why should she be doing that? If she rains fire on the BJP, talking of Hathras and everything else, which is rightfully, should happen, but why do they go silent when it comes to crime against women in Bengal? We look at all these details and much more as we will go from one story to the other. As we've, remember, looked at what's happened in Kolkata, what's happening also in Haryana, and also what has been happening vis-a-vis Akhilesh. Let's bring in more details on our screens, and then we'll also get in Sagarika to tell you exactly of what the court has said vis-a-vis the entire case that is now going to go to the CBI here on. And do remember again, time and again we have seen, whether it's the Nirbhaya case or any other case, the courts had to intervene. Again and again, our netas have failed us. I want you for a moment to look very closely at the preliminary post-mortem report that has been accessed by us. And this is, remember, a handwritten note of the doctor who conducted this preliminary post-mortem. The details might not be very clearly visible to you, so I'll just tell you what it says. For a moment, just think about this. And do not touch your remote because this is a story, ladies and gentlemen, that directly affects all of us. It could have been anyone on that seminar hall, on the third floor of that hospital, anywhere. A girl not even safe at her workplace, bleeding from both her eyes. Let's bring up the next detail, bleeding from her mouth. There was injury over her face, over her nail, bleeding from her vagina, injury in her left leg, injury in her belly, injury over her left leg ankle, injury at her neck, injury on the right hand ring finger, injury over her lips. And remember, if you just go through this list, you realize that there is so much depravity in the entire case that we shudder to think that individuals like this still exist. And apparently the one accused who's been arrested in the case has a very checkered past. But I want to quickly get in our colleague Sagarika, who's been reading through the entire court verdict, and she's also joining us live right now. Sagarika, these are gory details, to say the least. If people thought that after Nirbhaya, you have everyone on the roads, things would change. Nothing ever will change, Sagarika, because these are just empty promises netas make. What has the Calcutta High Court today said?
Deepti, the Calcutta High Court has taken note of what it is calling a serious lapse, and I'm going to take very little time to read out paragraph 30 of this 17-page High Court order. The court goes on to say that considering these factors, we would be well justified in making an observation that the administration was not with the victim or the victim's family. What an indictment of the state. We had asked the Learned Senior Standing Counsel as to whether the statement has been recorded from the principal, who's the helm of affairs of the place where the crime took place, the superintendent and the assistant superintendent. The reply at the time of hearing was that no statement has been recorded. As pointed out earlier, though the principal resigned, he has been within a couple of hours transferred and posted to another medical college and hospital under the control of the state government. Under normal circumstances, the court could have directed a report to be filed and considered the report, and also might have granted leave to file exception to the report, etc. However, the case in hand is a peculiar case, and the facts and circumstances warrant appropriate orders without further loss of time. We are convinced to say so because even after a lapse of 5 days, so the delay is being questioned here, even after a lapse of 5 days, there appears to be no significant progress in the investigation, which ought to have happened by now, and by further loss of time, we would be well justified justified in accepting the plea raised by the writ petitioners, more particularly the parents of the victim, that there is every possibility that evidence will be destroyed and witnesses will be influenced.
What an absolute shame. I think, it's very, very important that the state's home minister, who doubles up as the chief minister, Sagarika, that is Mamata Banerjee, needs to respond to what the court has said. The court has made it very clear, ladies and gentlemen, in black and white, into why this case had to be sent to the CBI. I'm just thanking Sagarika, but remember, as we continue to talk about crime against women, we continue to talk about a lot of grandstanding by different political parties and their netas. Let's also look at what's been happening in Uttar Pradesh. Look at this man. Now, this man, for those of you not very familiar, his name is Nawab Singh Yadav. Nawab Singh Yadav has multiple images flanked by Akhilesh Yadav. He's here on the dais when you had the Uttar Pradesh ke ladke. A lot of pictures also with Dimple Yadav. Now, there are reports that say that he's very close to them. But that is not the problem. If he's close to them, that is okay. But what is worse is that this man apparently has been arrested now under charges of an attempt to rape. Attempt to rape. So clearly, if you thought Akhilesh Yadav, Dimple will be outraged, you are wrong. Because as always, they say conspiracy. ऐसा कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है. हमें जानबूझकर फंसाया गया है is the first response that has come in from this man. And also, what the Kannauj SP chief says is that Nawab was not an active member of the party. So let's try and distance ourselves from that man right now and move on. Because clearly, we don't get affected. You have a minor who gets raped or anyone who gets raped, why should we care? Remember, I always, kind of go back to Mulayam Singh Yadav, who said boys will be boys. Ladke hai, galti ho jati hai. Clearly, that sentiment that is echoed in every statement that will come out from the Samajwadi Party. He's also said that he was involved in anti-party activities for the last 5 years. So he's trying to justify why you can't blame the SP for his crimes. Also saying that this is a conspiracy to defame the Samajwadi Party by linking Nawab to the party. Not a word on what he has said, not a word on how there should be stringent action, but always trying to say that we are distancing ourselves. If you recall, not very long ago, there was a similar case that came in from Ayodhya also. And again, the fingers pointed towards a neta who has links to the Samajwadi Party. Did Akhilesh do anything? The answer is no. Did Dimple do anything? The answer again is no. Let's now bring up the curious case of what's going on in Haryana. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is a fascinating story. This tells you that what a man with multiple resources, lot of clout can really do in a country where you have netas dependent on their vote bank. Now, this is a man who needs no introduction. Ram Rahim. We don't call him Baba Ram Rahim, he is Ram Rahim. He's a rapist. Perhaps the most famous rapist that you have seen in the country. He is behind bars on charges of rape, on charges of murder, on charges of castration. For 20 years, that is the jail term that has been awarded to him. Some people want to call him Godman. Now, I want to bring up list of how many times has this rapist got a furlough. Let's begin by looking at January 2023. In fact, I've also prepared a full list that goes in from February 2021. But let's begin by looking at January 2023, where he seeks parole from January 25th. And why? Because again, you had elections round the corner. Likewise, you will see almost every attempt that has been, used by Ram Rahim. Likewise, in the October of 2022, he is granted parole for 40 days. Why? Because of the iron elections. This release happened ahead of the Panchayat elections also in Punjab. Likewise, you will see multiple of these dates on your screens, and I just want to tell you some basic highlights because this list is long. February 2021, June 2022, October 2022, July 23, November 23, January 24, August 2024. Now, this is the 10th time that this man, this rapist, has been allowed to walk out of jail. The 10th time in just the last 4 years. He was picked up in 2017, arrested in 2017, and just in the last 4 years, he has been allowed to move out of jail for 10 straight times. Now, this also means that he's been out of jail for at least 255 days. Beat that. 255 days outside the jail in the last 4 years. This comes to an average of 63 days per year. This man is out. He's a rapist. And could all this happen, remember again, without political patronage? The answer is no. So the next time you have a BJP spokesperson telling you of crime against women in anywhere else, including West Bengal, please ask them about this. Why have they been ensuring that this man, the rapist Ram Rahim, is walking out of the jail almost after every few days? Let's look at a lot of these figures again to help you understand, and we'll again, try and get the first graphic we had, which is the safest state for women in the country. I've just spoken, remember, about these 3 states. If you look at the data of the NCRB, that is the National Crime Record Bureau, and I was going through the list, Uttar Pradesh tops in the crime against women. Then you have the state of Maharashtra, then the state of Rajasthan, then the state of West Bengal, then the state of Madhya Pradesh. So clearly, can you have any neta, any political party telling us that you come to our state is the safest when it comes to crime against women? The answer, unfortunately, is no. It's a big no, N-O. Let's also try and see if we have reactions, remember, that have come in earlier from the state of West Bengal. We'll play that out in just a moment, but we'll also introduce a panel of guests joining us. And we have Shazia joining us. Also, we have Riju Datta joining us. He represents Trinamool here. Also good to have Gargi Nandi Roy, who's a political analyst on the show. We also have Nirmal Kaurji, who's a former IPS officer. Nikul Patel is the leader of the Congress, and Akhilesh Katyarji, national spokesperson of the SP. So you have representatives, remember, from the BJP. We have representative from the Trinamool Congress, also representative from the Samajwadi Party. All these 3 parties that I've shown you their hypocrisy when it comes to women's safety. Now, Shazia, let's begin by asking you, can you really lecture Mamata Banerjee or Riju right now when it comes to crime against women, when the BJP government time and again has facilitated the release of Ram Rahim, the rapist? Why do you do that?
First of all, I think you are wrong on your facts. The government cannot facilitate the release at all. It is the courts that facilitate the release, and the government has precious little to do with it. In fact, you just sent out and you said that he was let out during elections. But let me tell you, while he was let out on 2 cases, because I follow this, this is my subject. There were other 2 cases under which he's booked, so he actually could not get out. So while he was released so it is not the government which facilitates the release or bail, it is always the court. Whether the courts are in collusion,
No, Shazia, hang on. Because, in January, I think, this was the High Court of Punjab and Haryana that had actually told the state government in as many words that do not give him these many furloughs. The court made it very clear. And, the court is acting on the directions that come in from the Haryana government. I don't want to go into that order, Shazia, but accept the fact... Shazia, you have changed the, good prisoners conduct rule. According to those rules, this man is allowed to move out. Is that fair?
No, absolutely not. In fact, which is the government and which is the party which ensured that this happens? There was a rest of the media screaming and shouting when this person was arrested, and there was a complete rampage, and they were blaming the police because there were people defending this person. And which party was in power?
No, right now, which is the party in power in Haryana? No, Haryana elections are around the corner, Shazia.
No, again you're getting it wrong. The party in power which actually ensured that he gets arrested was my party. And not just that, if the judicial courts...
And which is the party that has ensured that he comes out on furloughs every second month, Shazia? Which is that party?
Equivalence, but I will not buy this. It is the
Shazia, this India's most famous rapist has been out of jail for 255 days in the last 4 years, Shazia.
The fact is that it is the courts which ensure release and bail. It is never nothing.
There is a difference between a parole and a furlough. There is a difference in the rules. I want to get in quickly.
Yes, but
so I will quickly get in Nirmal Kaurji and Shazia. This is also something that I also checked. This cannot happen unless the Haryana government wants this man to come out. Now, Nirmal Kaurji, because you've been, ma'am, a former IPS officer, you have some very, very strong opinions, and you know how polity works. You know, I'm not just blaming the BJP. I think even the Aam Aadmi Party government right now in Punjab, when it comes to a pending sacrilege case against him, hasn't acted. They haven't given him, you know, any right to prosecution. So all netas are guilty, Nirmal Kaurji. How do we deal with a system like this that calls for women's safety but doesn't walk the talk?
You know, this is a universe. It's become so endemic, discounting women, not giving them dignity, not giving them respect, whether it's within the four walls of the house or at their workplace or wherever they go out in public. They are not treated as equals. They are, they are somehow kind of, beings to be exploited, to be taken advantage of. That is the, that's the general feeling about them. That's the general attitude towards them. That is what we need to change, regardless of this is one thing on which there should be no political divisions. It really saddens when one sees that on incidents like, whenever anything like this happens, it becomes a political issue. Whereas all this, across the political parties, across the board, everyone should stand for, safety of women, for their protection, for dignity. Like this Kolkata rape case, the girl is only at her workplace.
Correct.
She's in the hospital. And you know what is happening. She's a PG student, and she goes to rest a while in her duty, whatever duty hours. And then she's brutalized, raped and killed in such a sad manner. So that means you can't even go out to work. You can't be a resident. You can't do anything. And hospital is an emergency services, which is supposed to provide protection to everyone. And even the person they have arrested, he's some kind of a civic defense worker.
Yes.
Some kind of a special police officer or a para legal enforcement authority kind of a thing. And he was using the police barracks. He was sleeping there. In all probability, he's from the Trinamool cadres, and even the others, they're saying CCTV cameras have been tampered with and the other people have been defaced out of there so that others can't be caught. And the girl is, she's brutalized so badly, such a violent, obviously he's a psychopath, but then how come he's there for years and years in the hospital?
Absolutely, absolutely. How did he have that unchecked access, Riju? And what your government or what Mamata Banerjee says yesterday is that, I'm waiting for the police, I'm giving them time till Sunday. In case nothing happens, we'll get the CBI. Have you heard and have you kind of read what the court today has said? Can there be any other clear indictment of a state government that was, letting something like this happen, at least a cover-up?
Why 7 days was given? Because the samples that were collected from the victim's body and the blood that was collected from the primary accused, Sanjoy Rai here in this case, has been sent for DNA mapping.
You are still justifying your decision.
Laboratory.
Riju, at least what you can say, we made a mistake in hindsight.
Absolutely not. Deepti, I am saying I was on your show when this thing came out.
Yes,
the day the heinous crime was committed, I was on your show, and that day also I said, and today I will also say, it's a heinous crime. It's a rarest of the rare crime in a government medical hospital in Calcutta, and we all have to take moral responsibility.
No, moral responsibility, Riju, don't go there. We all have to take moral responsibility. This is the problem. You run the state. Your chief minister doubles up as the home minister. When something happens in Hathras or a BJP ruled state, you will call for the resignation of Yogi Adityanath. But when it happens in Bengal, you will say, everyone has to take, moral responsibility because rape is a social evil. Isn't it, Riju?
I agree with you. Deepti, no, Deepti, I agree with you. I agree with you completely on one point, that pan-India rape is something that is not limited to Bengal or Uttar Pradesh or Assam or Tamil Nadu. It is happening everywhere. So rape, I completely agree with you that rape tourism and vulture politics should stop, number one. Number two, in this regard, rather than, whataboutery or mudslinging, what my National General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee has said, that the people in power, the union government or the BJP, please bring in an ordinance in the parliament that after an investigation is concluded and there is enough evidence against the perpetrator of a rape and murder, that culprit should be sent to a fast-track court and should be hanged by the gallows within 7 days.
Who's
Until
the home
and unless
minister?
we can instill fear
No, this
in
is
these
about
criminals,
the accused. Can
this
you
is
tell
not
me
going
about
to
people
stop.
who are in power, Riju? How do we teach them a lesson?
the ordinance can only come in the parliament, and it can be only brought by the people in power, that is the BJP and the NDA government. And I am telling you on record on your national show, which millions of people are watching, that if BJP brings that ordinance, I as the national spokesperson of the party is saying this, that Trinamool Congress will be the first party to support BJP on that ordinance. But will BJP bring it?
Riju, at least today, please don't play politics today, Riju, please. I thought you'll come on the show, at least apologize. Apologize that the government took a wrong stand of not handing over the case to the CBI when you could have not handled the case. There is a glaring, cover-up that is happening at place. Riju, the court is speaking about the CCTV camera. The court is also asking that how did this accused have unchecked access to the hospital at that late hour? Can you tell me that? And why did you post this particular principal who was heading that college to another hospital? Unless the court had to intervene.
Correct. All your questions are justified, and I support you in all your questions. Now, my counter question to you is a very simple question. That on the day of the occurrence, the chief minister, who is the de facto home minister of the state, spoke to the family and said in public media that if the family wants, I will hand over the case to the CBI. And then yesterday, before the judgment came today, yesterday after meeting the family of the victim, the chief minister said the same thing, that I am giving Calcutta police 7 days time to close the investigation, or I hand it over to the CBI. But the Calcutta High Court, in all its wisdom, and we welcome the decision, has given it over to the CBI. Now the problem here is, everyone is giving their own assumptions, their conspiracy theories by what is being floated in WhatsApp, because the actual post-mortem report nobody knows. The court knows, the investigation officer and the chief minister and the family of the victim knows. No political party knows about it. How many people are involved?
I really respect you as an individual. Nobody knows. It's hard for me to believe that this is how you're defending the indefensible.
Thank you.
On your screens, on our screens right now, we are just detailing the kind of horror that this, young lady, all of 31, who was a doctor. Remember, she must have studied so hard to reach where she did. She was doing a night shift. I don't understand. She was not traveling in a marketplace, not out for a celebration, not partying like, a lot of chief ministers have said when it comes to crime against women. Riju, what was her fault? She had an injury at her neck. She was bleeding from her lips. She was bleeding from her vagina. There was an injury on the right hand, on her ring finger. I can just go on and on and on. Riju, what was her fault?
Deepti, with what you want, your rage, what I want, and what every panelist here on this show, irrespective of their political affiliation, want, is only two things: justice for the victim and her family, and exemplary punishment for the perpetrator or the culprit. That's all we want. The case is now with the CBI. My only humble submission is that the justice is delivered fast, and whoever is involved, all this political mudslinging, ye hai, wo hai, falana hai, jo bhi hai, usko फांसी पे लटकाओ.
I am also outraged. ये बोलना बहुत आसान होता है. नेशनल टेलीविजन पे आके ये बोलना बहुत आसान है कि हम चाहते हैं कि अक्यूज्ड के खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त पनिशमेंट हो. Let me also get an Akhilesh ji here, because Riju, time and again, this, right from the Nirbhaya case, and I covered that case. I was out in the streets for at least 3 days. I met Nirbhaya in person. I saw the kind of injuries she sustained. All netas are busy politicking when it comes to any case. But there is no state today, Riju, that you can say, or Shazia can say, or anyone else can say, is a safe state for women. That is the most scary part. Remember, all our viewers watching this, should we just step moving out of our homes, Akhilesh ji? और आपके यहाँ तो ऐसे नेता हैं जो एक माइनर को भी नहीं छोड़ते. देखिए, इस तरह की बातें नहीं करनी चाहिए, लेकिन अखिलेश यादव जो बहुत बड़ी बातें बोलते हैं, राहुल गांधी बहुत बड़ी बातें बोलते हैं, प्रियंका गांधी भी उतनी ही बड़ी बातें बोलती हैं, लेकिन जब क्राइम अगेंस्ट वुमेन आता है तो आपको यहाँ अपने नेता इन्वॉल्व हो जाए तो कंस्पिरेसी नजर आती है.
दीप्ति जी, जैसे कि रिजू जी ने बोला और बाकी जो हम सुन रहे थे पूरी बात, 7 साल से बीजेपी की सरकार, और आपने जो शुरू में जो रिपोर्ट पूरी बताई कि एनसीआरबी के डेटा क्या है, उत्तर प्रदेश में बलात्कार और गैंगरेप और हत्या के आंकड़े हैं, पूरा देश जानता है. हम तो ये चाहते हैं कि जो अपराध जिसके साथ हुआ हो उसे न्याय मिले, और अपराधी के साथ सख्त से सख्त सजा दी जाए। वो किस पार्टी से है, किस जात से है, किस धर्म से है, सरकार न्याय दे करे इसको ध्यान में रखने का काम नहीं है दीप्ति जी। वो किस पार्टी के साथ था आज हम ये नहीं कहेंगे। मेरे जिलाध्यक्ष ने उसके बारे में बताया, मैं खुद कन्नौज का प्रभारी था, लेकिन मैं ये बात नहीं करूंगा कि वो मेरे साथ था नहीं था, वो पूरे देश को बताया जा चुका है। लेकिन सरकार 5-7 साल से दीप्ति जी भारतीय जनता पार्टी योगी साहब चला रहे हैं, और उत्तर प्रदेश में महिलाओं के साथ क्या है, कितनी गैंग रेप के बाद हत्या, बलात्कार, अपहरण, पूरे भारत में नंबर 1 पे यूपी है। सरकार अपनी जिम्मेदारी से पल्ला झाड़ रही है।
देखिए, आप भी अखिलेश जी वही कर रहे हैं, आप भी राजनीति कर रहे हैं ना। आपसे सवाल पूछा गया 2 इंडिविजुअल्स को लेकर, आप उनका नाम लीजिए ना। एक है नवाब सिंह यादव, एक है मोहित खान। आप मुझे बोलिए कि उनका आपकी पार्टी से कोई लेना देना नहीं है?
नहीं, उनका पार्टी से लेना देना होने का मतलब यह नहीं है कि अपराध करने का लाइसेंस मिल गया है उनको। और
तो
सरकार
आप लोगों ने, आप बताइए,
अगर किसी पार्टी के सदस्य हो,
क्या आप लोगों ने सर उनके खिलाफ कोई कार्रवाई की है? आप मुझे ये बताइए।
दीप्ति जी, वो अगर उन्होंने अपराधी है तो अपराधी को सजा सरकार देगी, हम कैसे देंगे? लॉ एंड ऑर्डर चलाने की जिम्मेदारी योगी साहब
पार्टी से जुड़े हुए हैं सर। अखिलेश यादव ने, डिंपल यादव ने क्या कोई ऐसा बयान दिया है? क्या राहुल गांधी ने, प्रियंका गांधी ने कोई ऐसा बयान दिया है जिसमें नेताओं के नाम लिखकर उन्होंने कहा है कि इनके खिलाफ कड़ी से कड़ी कार्रवाई हो?
मैं पार्टी का स्पोक्स पर्सन हूं। मैं उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार से मांग करता हूं कि जो अपराधी हैं, सिर्फ नवाब सिंह और वो नहीं, उत्तर प्रदेश में जो भी हत्या और गैंगरेप के अपराधी हैं, फास्ट ट्रैक कोर्ट बनाइए, इन्हें सजा दीजिए। उत्तर प्रदेश
देखिए आगे क्या होगा, आप लोग सब ना, आप सब भविष्य में चले जाते हैं कि ऐसा होना चाहिए। आप मुझे बताइए कि अभी कानून कड़े नहीं है? नहीं अखिलेश जी, अगर आप चाहे अभी, क्या देश में कड़े कानून नहीं है? देश में बहुत कड़े कानून है, अच्छे खासे कानून है। निर्भया कांड के बाद चीजें बहुत बदली थी देश में। But the problem is the political grandstanding by all political parties. And Nicole, I'll come to you. And before I also get Gargi into this conversation, Nicole, why have you been quiet? You will tell me that we have seen tweets from Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi on everything. But why aren't you speaking to Mamata Banerjee and saying that, she needs to resign perhaps? Morality says she needs to resign. She needs to step down. This has been such a horrific rape and murder case, Nicole.
See, anytime such tragic event happens in the country, Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi always speaks about it, and we have seen that such things should not happen. And your question is rightly correct. Whether any state is safe right now for women in the country, your answer is also correct, no. Because the data that is reflecting... Not safe,
Nicole, all of you are to be blamed, no. All of you are in power in different states, all of you are to be blamed.
That is what I am saying. We all are responsible, whether it is any political party or the government.
So begin by asking Mamata Banerjee to resign. Tell Riju that Mamata Banerjee should resign.
So everyone in the country must resign, because NCRB data says that the Uttar Pradesh is having the maximum crime.
Nicole, don't do this. Nicole, please do not make this debate my rape versus anyone else's rape. There have been more rapes in Uttar Pradesh versus lesser rape in West Bengal, so West Bengal is safer place. Please do not do that, Nicole. Do not trivialize crime against women, please.
You listen the facts.
So the next time, Nicole, that you come on a debate and you're talking about women reservation, women empowerment, no, don't do this.
So Nicole must also resign from his
Nicole, no. Let's begin by taking resignation of all netas then. Absolutely.
Yeah, then you should the media should tell that everyone must resign from their post.
Yes, so let's begin by getting Mamata Banerjee to do this, no, Nicole?
You don't want to listen.
She's your ally. She's a part of the India Alliance. Why haven't I seen any outrage from the India Alliance? Can you tell me? Why is the Aam Aadmi Party quiet? Why is Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka, everyone quiet? Can you tell me that, Nicole?
Has increased by 90. What is this happening in the entire country?
Please stop this. Don't throw figures and data at me, Nicole. That proves my case. That for you, women and crime against women is just a data. You will only use that data to buttress your claims.
If you want to understand, then it's fine. It's a very critical, important data that is reflecting that what is
So are you
happening in the
saying,
entire
are you
country,
saying that
and
because there are
everyone has
lesser
to
number
take
of
the
rapes?
responsibility.
No, hang on.
Whosoever is the
Before I get in
government
Gargi now,
is-
Nikul,
because the government
Nikul,
is
I'm
the
asking you
elected
just
body
one
that is by
question,
the
Nikul.
people of the country.
Nikul, you're throwing
And
data
then
at me. So
media
tell me,
trials will not say that
by
resign,
saying
resign
that there
everywhere.
is lesser
You-
number of
anyone has to
crime
take the
against
burden
women
of
in
the
Bengal versus what we see in Uttar Pradesh, are you telling me that those rapes that happen in Bengal and the crime against women in Bengal are justified?
I'm not telling that. That is your perception.
Then
I'm telling
ask
these
for
are
her
the facts.
resignation, no.
And everyone has to resign.
If she has failed as a home minister, even one crime against women is a crime.
Everyone has to resign. Whether it is Mamata Banerjee or Yogi Adityanath ji, or whether it is a Pradhan Mantri.
This is a problem. You will play politics. But Gargi,
What politics? I'm playing the figures. I'm
Gargi, this
asking
is a
the
government.
figures.
This is a government that tom-toms the entire issue of women's safety. But like I said, if you just look at the NCRB data, Uttar Pradesh tops in crime against women, then is Maharashtra, then is Rajasthan, then is West Bengal, and then is Madhya Pradesh. Isn't the BJP equally responsible?
Okay, thank you, Deepthi, for inviting. I think irrespective of party lines, all politicians, administration, police officials in our system must be sensitized towards women. And what we know, yes, there may be crime against women in UP, but another thing is also true. After Yogi Adityanath ji came, that crime has come down. Even then,
No,
don't. What was the rate?
Gargi, this is not a time to give anyone a pat on the back. Please give me a solution. Even if there is one crime against women, even in Uttar Pradesh, even in Bengal, we should all be ashamed, Gargi. That is the problem.
Guys, that's what let me say. Yeah, so as what I'm saying, everybody should be sensitized, and any chief minister or any politician, when they make comment also, they must be sensitive. Why I am saying it, when you spoke about Bengal, because this is the incident we have been debating last few days, because Bengal, Deepthi, we have seen a very bad record. We have seen in the Kamduni case, 14 times public prosecutor changed, and the state did not do anything. The person given death sentence acquitted, death sentence commuted to life. The chief minister in the Park Street case said that it was a concocted story. There is a victim blaming, shaming.
Yes.
So this should not happen. And in this case, the horrific rape case of RG Kaur, we have seen an attempt to cover up. If a rape happens, if a heinous crime happens,
Gargi, Gargi, I agree with everything that you, Shazia, Nirmalji, Riju, Nikul and Akhilesh have also said. But, as I close this conversation, I have just that one question that I began this entire show with. Which is the safest state for women? Shazia, do you want to take 10 seconds to tell me the answer? Which is the safest state for women in India today? Shazia.
So, Deepthi, I think this was a very important debate that you conducted, and I really respect you for this, because it is each one of us is responsible. This is a blur and a huge black mark on our conscience, this thing that we carry, So each one of us is responsible. But rapes, unfortunately, in India are totally politicized. People only express their outrage after seeing the state, who's in power, the religion or caste of the rapist, and that of the perpetrator. That is a matter of shame, really shame. And I do not want to participate in something like this. I was there also, like you were, when Nirbhaya's surgery was happening, and I was in the hospital. So I saw that, and I think it affected many of us in a very deep way. So when rapes are trivialized by being politicized, we take away, something from ourselves, our basic humanity. And I think that is extremely shameful.
It is.
So
it is, Shazia.
with folded hands, I say that you, each one of us, it is our responsibility.
And I think all the three parties, at least, that have representation, the BJP, the Trinamool, the Congress and the SP, at least 4 political parties, the representatives here, I let the viewers decide if they have an answer to that question, which is the safest state for women. And is this just about a political grandstanding when it comes to things about rape and crime against women? Ladies and gentlemen, think out loud, think out hard, because this is about you and me, our friends, our family. I thank all of you for joining us. Time for us to quickly head into a break.